All right, how to use Balisongs to get girls. You knew the topic was coming because you clicked on the video, right? Well, I'm about to tell you how to do it. The answer is you can't. It was bait. You got baited, fool. No, but I guess since I have your attention, I'll talk about the topic. I thought it'd be funny to put a title like that and see, since my target demographic is mostly men, and for the few women that I do have on my channel that are watching, you probably could use Balisongs to get guys or gals, because it will definitely set you apart. I think it's honestly something kind of cool, but when guys do it, it's kind of cringe because there's this assumption that they think they're cool. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not really sure. But yeah, so really the best way to garner attention from the opposite sex, I think a lot of the time, is to, one, take care of yourself, and two, be confident. And I know people say be confident all the time, but I'm meaning to be yourself in the truest way possible. I know a lot of people who, and everybody has told me this, a lot of my friends, that not everybody's gonna dig your style, but a lot of the time there's people out there for everybody. And when you find somebody who you can be yourself around, that's the time when you know you found the right person. And so being yourself will help garner attention. Sometimes when you're in a social situation, you're so unconfident, or you feel you stutter, or you don't you're not as cool as you are around your friends or around people who you're not nervous around. And so that tends to happen. But a lot of the time, if you kind of try to separate yourself from the situation and from the consequences of what it is that you're doing, and try to be more natural, that's whenever you'll perform your best, because people are not thinking to themselves man, this person's weird. They're thinking man, this person's cool in their own type of special type of way. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of my advice, is to be yourself unfilteredly. Now obviously, if you're one of those people who has no filter whatsoever, then yeah, okay, dial it down a bit. You know what I'm saying? But for the most part, a lot of you have very cool sides of yourself, very cool sense of humor. Maybe you're really funny and you got a unique sense of humor, but you don't say the jokes because you're nervous people aren't gonna like it. Or maybe you got a unique perspective on things, but you never open your mouth because you don't want to embarrass yourself. Of course, these things in moderation are okay. It's cool to have these instincts, but all I'm saying is that that's not the type of stuff that's going to help you, because you're not setting yourself apart. A lot of these people, I don't know how it is nowadays, but when I was younger, or when I was in the dating market, a lot of these people were clones. They were all the same. They wore the same clothes, said the same phrases, tried to be cool. And I really set myself apart just by being myself, and just bringing that new wave internet culture into the market. And people being around me just because I just kind of said what was on my mind. I had a unique sense of humor, and I'm sure that a lot of you are the same way, because you watch the channel and stuff. And I think that's something that is underrated in the modern market, is not trying to become one of the clones and just being yourself. And of course, there's things like attractiveness and I don't know, I don't want to get political with anything I say, but there's things that inherently are going to have some sort of benefit, but a lot of it is confidence and uniqueness, and just showing that ambition to be a different type of person than everybody else. And that kind of leads me on to the second part of it, which is if you, and this doesn't even have to do with garnering attention from that was scary, garnering attention from the opposite sex, but it has to do with getting friends. If you're a friend, man, this Balisong is so thin, I missed the margin by a little half inch. But if you, there we go, have a lot of fake friends, or if you've ever been the type of person to say something yeah, I just can't be myself around my, bro, be quiet. I just can't be myself around my friends because they just don't understand me, and I just feel I know that they won't like my style, my jokes, or they treat me differently or whatever, or there's a side of me that I know my friends aren't gonna like if they saw it. that's understandable that people could end up in that situation, right? Because that happens to a lot of people. But what I will say about it is that it's a consequence of a lot of things, but one thing that it's a consequence of is being somebody who you're not when you're meeting your friends. So like, think of it this way. If you never show your friends your true self, how are they going to know, or how are they going to appreciate you to your truest extent? Like, if you act different than you normally are when you're trying to meet friends and make friends, then you're never going to feel like you can be your true self around them, because it's all based off of a farce. You know, they like you because you acted fake. And, you know, that's just a sad little truth of life. You know what I'm saying? But you got to try to stop impressing people and be yourself. I might, you know, really a lot of this video is just about the benefits of being yourself. You know what I'm saying? And so, like, when you're trying to find new friends, don't try to act like somebody else, because you're going to end up getting, you know, people who like that part of you and not the real you. And so when you ask yourself, like, oh, I can never talk to my friends, it's like, well, when you made friends with your friends, did you make it clear what's important to you? Like, for example, you know, you got a bunch of toxic masculine friends that don't want to acknowledge your feelings or whatever. But when you first met your friends, were you the type to devalue others' feelings? You know what I'm saying? They're all sitting down at the table. You go plop down and sit with them like, hey, you know, what's up, y'all? And they're like, look at this loser over here crying. You're like, yeah, that guy is a loser, trying to make friends. And then what happens whenever you're the loser that's crying? You know what I'm saying? What happens when you're the one that's crying? Then you feel like you can't go to them. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, watch how you make your friends, because it makes all the difference in the world. And always be yourself. You know what I'm saying? Even with the dating market, that's why people are like, oh yeah, everybody's different at the start, and then later on they're just a completely different person. It's like, well, yeah, everybody's playing the game, you know? So that's kind of a little bit of advice, a little bit of personal advice, right? You don't have to take it all to heart. I'm not the wisest guy in the world, but it's just something I thought I would share with everybody. So yeah, hope y'all are having a wondrous day. Wondrous, yeah, I say that shit. I got a new vocabulary. Okay, rock on.